Customer service workers, what are you doing? Is minimum wage worth this? Huh? Is it worth that?
My 26-year membership. You did that. Well, then who did
What are you doing? Who's customer service for? Me? The customer? Nah, my boy, I order online. If I'm in a store, time has become a factor. I don't want to be hounded by any Kelsey's Can I Help Yous or any need help Herberts. I need the product it came for. I miss when loss prevention was the only people that used to follow me around the store. Has me feeling like my grandma reminiscing on the old days, talking like, man, back in my day, there was only one old white bald man that used to follow you around the store, or a little white lady that you become terrified when she spoke to her. Now I feel like there's this weird like push from the Corpo leaders to the front line to be a friggin' weenie, bro. Like, what?
May I take your hat, sir? May I take your hat, sir? May I...
All right, I've heard enough. You've got the job.
Like, motherfuckers out here really on some SpongeBob shit for minimum wage, you know what I mean? The difference is SpongeBob's whole life's aspiration was to work at the Krusty Krab. But you're at McDonald's power tripping because someone showed up 5 minutes late from work after they texted you that they had a flat. Why are there so many managers out here who act like they really started their place of work? Like they start that shit, they built it brick by brick. Or they treat their employees like there isn't other jobs out there. And I've really been thinking about this on some side tangent shit. Like maybe this weird perpetual job hunt everyone seems to be in is a deeper issue with the needs of humans to hunt, you know what I mean? We had made jobs that weren't like humanistic, you know what I mean? So instead of hunting animals, we just have to perpetually hunt jobs. Side topic, think about that. Back to my original thing, who is actually being serviced? Most importantly, let's unpack all of this and get to the bottom of why customer service, as we know it currently, is killing America. So here's the case. You're not a brand and I'm not a brand. Me and you could get together and we could get some inside jokes going and we would still not be a brand. Because if you use the word brand when used to describe yourself, you should save us all the time and just say, hey, I'm a huge, massive corpo cuck and I don't have a personality. I do not see my personality as something to be sold or rented to a large corporation for the sake of a percentage pay increase or a false sense of power. How can I be loyal to people I've never met that ask me to act in the most inhuman ways most of the time? Like call up any big corporate store right now. So you get a person online, see how they answer. It's gonna be like, hey, thank you for calling Target. My name is Heather. I'm here to help you and get better at everything I do so I can help you and better get you into some new clothes because every customer sits into a size 2 when you come through. How may I help you today?
These bullet points is very important. We're very close to the river. The buildings are very old. Even the 5-star restaurants have rats. Welcome to Coops. Make sure to put your own spin on that speech. Make that speech your own. Make it sound like the first time, every time.
And that's usually after a huge unskippable cutscene that an AI just gave to you. That just gave you the same script that they give to you. So why are they doing it to you twice, but having the AI do it so you just forget it double time because it's just so mind-numbingly long and annoying. When I was growing up, it was all these catchy jingles and memorable marketing stunts and stuff like that that just like really stuck with you with like this type of brand identity that really, you know, kind of pushed the limit. And just where the hell did that go, you know? Nowadays, shit is just so lazy. You have to go to the store. You have to interact with these brands now. There is no alternative. How much is the minimum wage worth to you? Is getting paid barely a minimum wage worth doing all of this? And letting the world turn into Willy Stankin' Waka meets the freaking Outer Worlds 2? Like, like what are we supposed to fucking do? And the worst part about all of this to me is there's people out here that really do take these corporate brands as their personality. Imagine the depth of your personality being a size 11 shoe sewn in a sweatshop by a child that is being paid a fraction of what you're paying for one for sewing thousands of them. And then imagine reducing that to just, I'm a sneakerhead, bro. You're being psy-oped right now into buying sneakers instead of hoarding weapons, ammo, and food. Okay, change my fucking mind. Now, what's this got to really do with why customer service is ruining America, because I want to be honest with you, this is the core principle of it, okay? These jobs flat out separate you from the greater public and put you in a servant or slave, which was rebranded as being like a representative or expert or artist. You know, it's all the same thing, baby. It just basically amounts to, hey, they pay you the least, so you gotta talk to me. So that's why you're dealing with all of these. There's people in a room somewhere that have decided that their worldview must be shared by an entire company of people for success for this company to happen. Completely blinded by the fact these people have lives and are consumers of it themselves. So when handed a stupid thing by them, they should have been like, and most people, including myself, should have been like, hey, no. Why not? But then when you're told no, they're like, hey, we'll get out. And they just do it anyway. So like, where's the feedback? You don't listen. It's really just a modern ego issue driving the core of this issue, if I'm being honest. Just a bunch of people hoping that they make a Ray Kroc type biopic after they die, so they can build something that lasts. And the reason that it lasts is because they made it last. Ultimately, it doesn't help that the government views these brands as people who actually afforded more rights in a lot of cases. Like, for example, let's say you go down to your local Wally World, okay? Or your Kroger, whatever your regional thing is. You go down there, you pick up a TV for $3,000. Let's say you take it home and you plug it in and it calls you a slur, you know, and then it just shuts off forever. You can take it back to the Walmart, and then the guy behind the counter says, that's funny. And then he says, you have to call corporate for that kind of issue. So you call corporate, and then corporate says, nah, you just go ahead and try to take it to a different store. So you do, and then you go to that other store, and then they're like, hey, no, you got to take it back to the other place. So you do, and then you go back to the place where you originally bought it, you know, like the other place said that you needed to do, and then you talk to the manager again, and he says, haha, you did all that? No. You know, so what do you do then? You're gonna call the cops? Because, you know, if you had stole that TV, that's a felony. But the fact that, you know, Walmart says that it's company policy now that we don't return broken devices because there's no proof of blah, 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 even if there's a receipt. What's your recourse? Let's go ahead and take the legal route. You know, if you take the legal route, you're gonna be out like $5 to $10 grand just on a lawyer alone, one singular lawyer. But then you have a whole platoon of lawyers down at the Wally World just raring to go like it's freaking Invasion Day. Call the Better Business Bureau. They'll be like, damn, that's crazy. And then even if you did all of that, and you're still out $3 grand, and you ain't got no TV, and your feelings are hurt. So you walked in there, have taken that. They would have took your ass to court. You would have had to pay for that lawyer, for the judge, just to be like, hey, we got this guy on retainer already that's just built to put your dumb ass in jail. So like they're afforded a different type of right because of this corporate policy. I don't care what big brand it is, Costco, Trader Joe's, McDonald's, Comcast, doesn't matter. Same moving cups can be found all around town, pal. And we're just letting that shit happen. So when you look past the smoke and mirrors of all that crap, it makes me wonder, who's the customer service actually for? Customer service isn't there to sell you something. They're there to help you. To, you know, help you think when you don't, so you don't have to at the end of a long, hard day, you know. It's there to rise you up and, you know, take some over the shoulder. It's like, hey, pal, I got this. Don't worry. You're on my time now. No, wrong. Wrong. They think you're a moron. And so do I. In all honesty, why would you pay somebody to sniff around and just like stand there just waiting, going, hey, you need something to help? You know, in like the retail stores, they're like, why have to have somebody on the phone that answers questions like, why is my phone shut off when the bill is like, you didn't pay anything? You haven't paid anything. Like, what? Like, how is that actually a conversation? If I was a boss and someone was gonna be mean to me, I would pay someone too to stand in front of me. And then when they come back, because what I would do is I would fuck everybody. Like they were my wife, and I just got back from a war as a prisoner of war, and I was gonna fuck everyone just like how that was. And my wife was faithful, and she wants it, so she's just vigorously in it, you know. So, and then after I get done fucking them, and they get mad, I would be like, "That guy, get him, boys, get him, that guy right there, that fella, that's the ones that did it to you, fellas, get him, yeah." And like legitimately, that's what's happening. We as a workforce are letting them do that to us. People don't actually suck, I think. It's just this, we have built the system of commerce that just makes it unavoidable to see idiots on both ends, as a customer, as a worker, you know what I mean, in that kind of industry. So like think about it, if this was monkey times and we were still like all like running around and stuff, like just like partying out and like looking at berries and stuff, if you found an idiot you didn't like, you just walk away. You just go somewhere else and the problem's solved. But like sometimes you got to sit next to that dude for like upwards of 8 hours a week, and you know he's stinking, he's annoying, and you got to be around him all the time, because if you don't, this is where you get money for the berries to bring home to your cave that's now a house that, you know, someone else built, but they built it shitty, so you got to make sure to repair it, because and all that stuff, so you got to keep, that's what makes people suck, is because this whole in-between thing that happens right there, right? This in-between gets caught up, and those idiots, you know, somewhere are just gonna make you mad. And it's not that they're actually idiots, it's just the fact that they line up at idiot times. But to put this plainly in terms, okay, the customer service is built to sway fools and appease the aggressive, plainly, okay? Very rarely does someone get the service they deserve as a customer when something actually truthfully bad happened. And if you're thinking, hey, how's this ruining America? I'm getting there, pal, okay? Now hear me out, okay? Follow me now. By catering to people who either A, can't make decisions, or have already made a decision that they feel entitled to, we're only elevating these people to the top, if that makes sense. We're no longer looking at the cream of the crop, right? We're making these be the standard of industry, right? Why would you're letting kids look at this shit and be like, I could either just be dumb and not have to work and someone else will do it for me, or I could just take whatever I want because everyone's so pussy and will let me have it. And that is the people, your idiots, your assholes that you keep running into complaining about. It's because these systems allow these people to just congregate. When someone used to be stupid, you used to be like, hey, idiot, quit being dumb, right? When someone was being a jackass, you used to be able to kick him in the freaking nuts and shit, you know? Kick him right, you know? You used to be able to do that shit. Roadhouse a motherfucker, you know? Just, you know what I mean? That's how you used to be able to do it in America. But now, because of customer service, you can't just kick a twat in the twat. Most importantly, though, I think what actually is ruining America more than the issue with customer service and how we can correct it as a society and as people that want better for our children and things like that. We gotta, there's this one quote, one simple quote that is always used and it's always freaking So that's half the quote. The customer is always right in taste, meaning in preference. Your choice, your opinion is always correct, but you could be wrong. 2 + 2 = 5 to the customer. I should be allowed to say, hey, idiot, that's 4. And then, but in today's world, if I tell that man it's 4, he shall become aggressive and threaten my job. And that takes my manager out of what he's doing, or she, whoever I'm working for at the time. Let's be inclusive. They come up and they are like, ha, nah, and they have to argue and blah, 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 right? And half the time, these people cave. Let's be real. And it's just like one of those things, like, why is it that when you say something that's like logic to some people nowadays, that should be pretty simple, they'll ask for your manager, like as if getting paid, again, an average of $3 more is gonna somehow alleviate the situation. That's gonna make them smarter because they paid them more. And then like some places just give the ability for management to be a dick, but like at the same time, why shouldn't you just be a dick all the way down? Like, why is it like I have weird places that like I know people can think about this, like we need to train our customers to do X, Y, or Z. But then I'm like, why not train them to not be an asshole? Like, why when someone calls in on that crazy shit and it's like actually nonsense, why can't you just like already have like processes in place to be like, hey, no, stop. See, and this is where it starts. It starts with the people. It starts really does. Camera 2, listen. This is my appeal to you, the people, the customer service workers. How much is the money you're getting paid worth? Is it worth the ridicule and the treatment that you take to not stand up for yourself? And to the managers, why is it not that you would stand with them when they make these decisions? Why not let everybody know it's over? This is my appeal to you, ultimately, okay, as people, to make America better, to make society better. The next time that you deal with a customer that has their head so far up their ass they become a literal human Ouroboros. Think of this video and don't let that bastard give you the guff they deserve. And if your boss asks you to hold the line on a Karen and then immediately caves when they come to ask for him, hold that man accountable. Call them a coward. Ask why are they letting them ruin America for the rest of us normal people. Please hold your loved ones close and everyone you meet accountable. And dingo!